near the mint patch. I wanted to come down here and show you guys the progression. If you go back a few videos, I had mentioned there was a break in a tree. This is just south of my property, where all the noises come from. It was the first video of the year, and I stopped here and there was a willow brought down. And I thought possibly the wind, but there was an opening here. And I had shot a video last summer, and there's a face back. I zoomed in, I had heard a wood knock, and I had zoomed in into the bush, and there's a face there, right, in amongst these poppy trees. And that whole where I zoomed in, it's kind of like a cut line that runs through the forest here, through the trees, and it's as if they're blocking the entrance to this opening. It's something that they've been working very hard through the winter when it's warmed up, when we've had like plus in above zero temperatures and stuff like this. There are more of these trees are showing up in this spot. So, and I know they do build blinds. There's a few along this field, and there's beds behind them. You know, you could see where something's laid. I say it's them because the screen is built, right? But anyway, that's what we're here today. I want to show you the progression. Okay, so, and I'll use my little pointer here. That should help. Initially, it was this one right here. That's all that was here. That one right there. And then I would say maybe about 2 weeks later, I noticed this one. That is a willow right there. There's one further back, right in this area here, where my pointer is. That was, a few days after that second one. So, and then I looked over here, there hadn't been any wind. And I see this giant of a tree picked up and shoved in and above these willows that they knocked down. And these are fresh here. These few here. There's one there and one there. The light color, that's just within the last 2 days. Just leaned up, laying on top of everything else, right? And it's like they just keep building this up. They're building it up, building it up, building it up. Like this is all a big opening here in the trees. And it's always been there. A lot of this stuff started happening. There was a change in ownership of this field that I'm along. We used to own this quarter, and we sold it way back in the day. And the people that bought it now sold it to another. The new owners, I've seen side by side like an ATV come around the property here a few times. And I'm not sure if maybe they're after looking at the beaver dams. Because a lot of farmers, they will break the beaver dams, right? And because they don't want the water coming into the field and ruining the crops. They want as much of the crop they can get every year. And there's probably about 8 beaver dams all along this property. This is the Swan Creek that runs through here. It comes from the Swan Lake. Yeah, and I have seen their side-by-side and one of their quads driving last fall and early winter. They were going around this field. I don't know if they were checking for maybe fallen trees or possibly the beaver dams, right? And I wish they would leave them alone. Personally, the beavers create such healthy ecosystems for a lot of animals and a lot of birds and insects, and they create these environments that are just wonderful for everything else. And then of course we come along and destroy that, and they'll just clear cut trees and make more fields, and they have no consideration for the environment or the animals that, in the area. They should be considerate and considering all those other things, right? Instead of just that mighty dollar. So they are acting very different from the previous owners. The previous owners of this quarter of land here, this field, this farmer's field, they were never around. They never were around other than when they farmed it in the spring and harvested it in the fall, and it's all you've ever seen of them. But this new group, these new owners, they're doing something different, and maybe, and I start seeing a lot of this stuff all along this quarter of land. Any little openings, some of the wider game trails too, they are closing up, keeping things hidden. And they just keep adding to it. Like these ones here, like I said, you can see the fresh one here and the fresh one there. That's just in the last 2 days. But we'll just see how much they block that off. Like, see, once this all fills up with the greenery, right, the leaves and everything, you won't see back in there very good. And they're blocking it off too, so. And they're blocking it off too, so. And they're blocking it off too, so. It would deter not someone like me, because I climb fences and I jump over structures and go under them, which I probably shouldn't. It is. I think they're blocking out all of the little openings along this because of the new owners, the new ownership. There's something there they are worried about. Maybe they're gun happy. There's a lot of those, right? There's a lot of people who like shooting stuff, and maybe they're after the beaver. Maybe they could be hunters. They could be that type of person, and these guys know it, right? We're gonna just pay attention to what they're doing here. It's pretty interesting. It was early summer, probably June, July, when I had seen the face back there in the trees, and it was right back in there. Right in there somewhere. The snow is melting fast right now, and I want to get out and up to Seven Creeks here in a day or two, see how the gifting bowl is doing, and every other week there's a new chunk added to it. They're not doing it fast, which is, I find kind of interesting. Like, it's gradual, and I mean, if I wasn't, I'm paying attention. To the average Joe that's not used to the property and what it looks like. They wouldn't even notice the change, right? The progression. But I'm watching it, and it's very interesting, and how they do this at a very. They're working at a very slow pace to do this, so that it's another way of how they stay hidden, right? That's how they do it. That's how they stay do things slow. Nobody notices the change. Do things slow. Nobody notices the change. Thought I heard walking behind me. I'd like to get to the spruce trees. Where? Is it? No? Maybe they're further west. I can't wait to get down there to that third location along the property here. But like I said, I can't get through the snow. And I don't really like taking like an ATV or skidoos, which I don't have anyway. But I mean, if I did, I don't think I would actually use them. So I usually drive to a point and then walk. And I'll walk 3-4 miles. And then, but I do understand there are people out there that are doing this that can't walk that far for whatever reason. And you make do with what you got, right? But if you can walk, I would walk. What is going on here? Oh. Let me show you something. I would say the last time I was here would have been last October, and none of this was on the ground. Piling logs and sticks and twigs and spruce boughs. There's some spruce boughs over there as well. Thanks for visiting. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Back to this, whatever this is. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're building this. Like, this is all fresh, because you can see the light colored ends, right? The light pieces over there. I have no idea why they would be building this. Somebody might say a nest, but I can't see them laying on that stuff. Like, it's all sticks and logs, right? That's very interesting. I probably should go around this stuff. I usually try to stay, avoid walking across stuff like that, or like even the arches. If I'm paying attention, I try to go around them. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Hello? Hello? So I'm not far from, probably 100 yards from where I was hearing all that strange sound, those strange noises, and in front of me. Still freaks me out. I still say, how many months later, that was not Bigfoot either. I don't believe that was Bigfoot. I think they were avoiding whatever that was. But the orbs, maybe they were there in orb form, in spirit form, because the orbs were there with me. They're actually probably with their babies right now. And the squirrels, right? I think they're having their babies throughout the month of March. And they're very protective right now. Did you hear that? The sound before the squirrel? That's the second squirrel. Now this one's their warning. Oh. Hey, baby. It's alright. They all come for them. Why? Hello? There was a wood knock. And a strange vocal a little bit earlier. Just so everybody knows, this is the mid patch. That's where I am right now. That was interesting. That was kind of... All of a sudden there was like 4 or 5 squirrels just come rushing this way. And then dead silent. I could stay down here all day. Well, I've kind of been down in this area for the last probably 3 hours. Walking around and just checking things out. Because there's, every time I come down here, there's always something different, right? Like, I don't know what they're doing with the sticks. Anyway, I can't see them laying on that, right? Like, if there was like a bed of spruce boughs and things like that, and maybe some branches, spruce boughs, spruce branches and stuff, then I would say nest or bed, right? But I don't know, it's all sticks. It's all a big mess of sticks and logs and on the ground, and then what they're building over there along the field. That's interesting as well. But we'll just keep documenting this and see how far they go with that. Anyway, we'll make our way out. Long range forecast. It's looking really good. So, 7 Creeks, here I come. Swan Lake, here I come. And get those trail cams out and set up. And my mic. Feel something back there, the squirrels. I'm out. I'm out of the big trees. There you go. Okay, everybody, I will sign off for now. See you soon in the trees. Possibly 7 Creeks again. So, see you soon. Bye for now.